Took 28 years to realize that no matter what the meeting is about, if you randomly chime in with, it's just about finding that balance, people will always agree. I guess it's because it's always kind of true, isn't it? A Kentucky woman claims Kanye West telepathically told her to steal a car with a child inside, leading to her arrest. I actually believe he did this. The bad guy in Hallmark movies is a boyfriend who's like, no babe, I can't drop everything and leave work this weekend. I'm about to close a deal for $10 million that'll set us up for life. And the good guy is a guy who's just standing there when she gets to her hometown. If Hallmark made more Halloween movies, I would probably be more interested. You know what? As a matter of fact, let me see if they do make those. Oh my god, they do! They make a bunch! No! I'm in trouble, guys. Dude, the first movie that pops up when you look up Hallmark Halloween movies is Pumpkin Everything. Pumpkin Everything! Oh my god, that's so funny. Wow, I can't wait to watch every single one of these and hate them all, but they'll be my favorites. You ever read a manga where the character looks so full of aura in black and white, and then you check their official color scheme and it feels like this? Not a manga, but Robert Pattinson in The Lighthouse. That's Mario. Yu-Gi-Oh! Honestly has the most insane cultural footprint ever, because what do you mean the Crossroads meme comes from this show? Are you serious? Does it really? It's a card? No, you're messing with me. Nope, I'm not falling for it. You can't fool me. I'm too smart. What the hell? No way. Man, good start. 2 great posts right off the bat. I love it. Bravo. Emma Stone and her second Oscar. Looney Tunes ass background. It is true though. That's an interesting background choice. Good for her on her second Oscar. Do you think she's gonna win a third? My dad just realized that the apartment his unmarried aunt has been living in for the past 20 years with her best friend Irene has 1 bedroom. He's so confused. Does Irene sleep on the couch? She's 83. She shouldn't be sleeping on the couch. They were roommates. I never read or was interested in fan fiction until like 5 or 6 years ago. I stumbled across a shockingly well-written Harry Potter fanfic where he drops out of Hogwarts to join the SAS, and in the end, when he blows Voldemort's head off with a .50 caliber sniper rifle, I was just like, oh my god, I get it. See, fan fiction is amazing for many reasons, because where the fuck are you gonna find a book at Barnes & Noble that does this? Like an officially published book. Like Random House is not gonna put out Harry Potter and the .50 caliber sniper rifle. It's just not gonna happen, okay? But if you go to fanfic.com or whatever, you're gonna find the greatest shit you've ever seen in your entire life. It's amazing. Unironically though, some of my favorite written pieces ever have been fan fiction. I used to frequent FimFiction, the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic fanfiction website, all the time. Yes, epic lore dump for you guys. Back when I did Gmod videos and I was a horse, that wasn't an ironic thing. I love the ponies, okay? I love MLP. I still do. I'm still very much a part of that fandom. So if you're a fan of MLP, come check out my Twitter account, come hang out. You might even see me at like an upcoming MLP convention or something like that. But seriously though, some of these writers are insane. There's a guy that's still like, okay, not anymore. He used to write all the time on FimFiction called Short Skirts and Explosions. That dude, I hope he's out there writing novels because he writes 500,000 word fanfiction faster than Stephen King has written anything in his life. It's crazy what these people are able to do. And it opens up an entire world of free literature for you that is so good. It's so good, actually. And I know this sounds stupid as hell, but he said shockingly well written. Do you know how much anime is like that? Where it's shockingly well done, but the premise is so dumb, but you love it anyway? I was applying for homeowners insurance today, and they asked if I had any pets, to which I said, yes, 2 cats. And then they asked me, have they been trained to attack or cause bodily harm? And I wanted to know if anyone had been able to do this because I'll hire you. How do you train cats to do anything, let alone fight for you? If I would love to train a cat to just beat the crap out of home intruders, or just a friend. If you like say an activation phrase or snap your fingers, you can get them to say attack Zach. That would be really funny in my opinion, you know? Sometimes I get really concerned about things very suddenly. Like I'll be chilling, then all of a sudden be like, oh shit, where's my birth certificate? Honestly, I don't know. There's got to be an explanation for that, but I feel like all of us can relate to a certain degree because you might be thinking about, I should probably get a passport at some point. What do I need for a passport? Oh my God, do I know where any of that stuff is? Wait a minute, am I alive? You know, it's such a funny little spiral, isn't it? Or at least I like to think it is. I do think about that crap all the time. Do I know where my social security card is? I sure hope I do, because you never know when you're gonna need that son of a bitch again. Now do ya? Asked a friend to hang out, and he said he was in the middle of getting revenge and would be busy with that for the next week. Well, you can't leave us hanging. I know for a fact you asked more. You definitely asked some clarifying questions. Don't lie to me, Alex. There's more to this whole story you could be telling us, and yet you just drag on and on. Okay, you don't drag on and on. You're hiding it from us. What's the revenge? I need to know, okay? I might want to help. If the story's good enough, I'll be there for your friend. I'll volunteer first. I'm right up front. I'm the vanguard. Who are we getting revenge on and why? Stop screaming every time I leave the room. Stop dematerializing like a coward. If 9-month-olds understood memes, they would love this one. Maybe they do. You know, wasn't there a whole movie series about how babies are actually insane geniuses? But like, there was something about the story. Like, babies start off as geniuses. They're super smart, like they are, but there's something that happens in their life that will cause them to lose their crazy intellect and just grow up normally. What the hell was going on in those goddamn movies, man? I knew a single guy in college that wore a fake wedding ring because it helped him get attention from women. He slept with dozens of women that thought he was cheating on his wife with them. When he told them he was single afterwards, they were all outraged. So I've been seeing this one on and off for years, and I don't buy this story for 1 second, okay? Look, I know there are shitty people out there, but there's no way, dude. There's no way, all right? Of course, I say that. I've never been to college. You know, I skipped that whole thing. I paved my own path. Whether or not I regret that remains to be seen, but nonetheless, I'm here. I went a different direction, so I might have missed out on some experiences, fundamentally, you know? I just don't buy this. As wild as college may or may not be, I just can't see it happening, rabid Wookie. I do not want to save to OneDrive. I want to save to the documents folder on my computer that I have in my house. Yeah, I've become so sick and tired of all the cloud backup BS. It's everywhere, okay? And whenever they try to use it as like a selling point, they rescind it later. Like, I remember getting the first Pixel phone. It looked awesome. That phone did rule. Genuinely loved that thing. And they promised, hey, by the way, you'll get unlimited original quality photo storage if you buy this phone. And then they took that away from us like 2 years later, straight up. It's kind of insane, you know? I hate cloud storage. I do. I don't have really the ability to connect to it from outside of the house, but I do have a NAS in home that I use, and I will never, ever go back to exclusively running most of my stuff through my measly 100 gigabytes of Google Drive storage space. I only pay $20 a year for that. I'm probably going to find a way to finally close that off from my life at this point, because we really should be figuring this crap out. Asked my 5-year-old what she wanted for dinner, and she said, not a burned quesadilla, because in the summer of 2019, I overcooked one side of her quesadilla. Well, Todd, she's not going to let you forget, because it's a failure you need to learn from, okay? So this is not a problem with her being sassy. This is a problem with you sucking at cooking, okay? You didn't pay attention. You thought because she was what? Oh yeah, okay, so she was 4? No, 3. Matt, she was really, goddamn, okay, maybe she needs to, do I know math? Maybe she's really, really, really just too, you know what? Never mind. I'm sorry. You know, my brain got all twisted. I think I might be on your side now. How the hell she remember that? When TikTok convinces you to buy a projector and create faux windows in your bedroom, Plato clutching his chest and crying and throwing up right now. Look, I think it's a cute idea, but if my bedroom doesn't have a window, it's not a bedroom. I'm sorry. No way, no how. If I can, like, I'm in a basement room, so I can still see outside. I can see a fence. I can see the side of the neighbor's house, you know? That's something. But if I am in a place where I have to create fake windows, oh boy. I mean, what I'll do is probably go above and beyond. I'm not going to use a projector because I got to find a place to put that projector. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go cut a giant hole in the wall, and I'm going to build a structure that goes inward, right? Inward with, we'll say edge lighting at the bottom, okay? Cast light. I'll put like a picture of a city in the background or something like that. Hell, I might even do fake rain effects and whatnot. I'm going to make it look like the windows at the tiki room here, okay? I'm going to go above and beyond if I have to create a fake window. But point is, you should not be creating fake windows. You should hopefully have a room with one. Hell yeah, Benihana up in this bitch. Oh man, every time I see this image, my soul cringes up into a wadded up ball of sadness because I am the clean freak. I know you know that, but I just have to point it out every single time I can remember. Texting your brother is like texting a boy that has zero interest in you. I would hope so. Yeah, what the hell does that... Did you think you had something there? What does that mean? Because yeah, man. Ew. Come on, yucky, dude. Breaking. Costco is introducing its own buy now, pay later program. Adults in the 80s, our child will have a bigger house than ours and a better paying job. Adults now, I have hot dog debt. Dude, adults in the 80s, I don't think they, I feel like they didn't give a You know what I mean? I feel like adults and people that got to live through those times, despite its downsides, I don't think they were really thinking about what they were voting for and what it was going to do to their children. I don't think they gave a I just can't believe it. There is no evidence in my eyes, or in my own personal experiences, whatever, that leads me to believe that any parents voted in the best interests of their children because they didn't think their kids were going to grow up or whatever and become adults that also have to live a life as well. They were not voting in the best interests of the future generations because they were pissy at the future generations. I feel like they were trying to get some kind of revenge on us because kids are smartasses and raising kids is hard and, children are immature and that's how that works. I don't know. The wife goes, what if I had a special day where I got to keep the thermostat at 78 degrees? I'm living with an iguana. Dude, 78 degrees. You know, it is kind of crazy. We should be able to deal with 78 degrees. I do believe that air conditioning as a whole concept is starting to fuck up our evolutionary traits. I think it is. We're not prepped for a warming planet, but we are super not prepped for a warming planet because of the tools of excess that we have created for ourselves to be more comfortable, which I'm not blaming us for inventing things to be more comfortable. I feel like that's pretty freaking normal, but I digress. Metroidvania is such a terrible name for a genre. It's like, what if we called horror movies Dracusteins? Petition to expand this naming convention to all genres in every medium. Hey, it's longest solo ever. Love is in the details. With love, Megan. Or is it Megan? A new series premieres January 15th. Never before in the history of celebrity has there been so much supply for so little demand. And yet, David, tons of people you don't know are gonna watch this. That's just how it works. You claim there's no demand, and yet people are gonna watch it regardless. They're taking the Apple approach. We will tell you what you want and how much of it you want, and you'll do it. There is a reason Apple is like the largest name in technology ever, despite not really being all that innovative anymore in many ways, but it's because they would simply use psychology to get your ass. You like this. You want it. You're gonna buy it. Damn straight I will. I think it's cool. You think it's cool. You love it. Called my dog fat and then he threw up 15 minutes later. Now my mom is telling the family I gave him an eating disorder. Well, if the boot hits, what are we gonna call it? Okay? If it quacks like a duck and calls itself a duck, it's a duck. Why are conclusions necessary in essays? Were you not following? I mean, I don't think it's necessarily that I'm not following. It's nice to have reinforcement of your call to action, your statement. What you learned from it is interesting. And yes, I have been following for the most part. I don't read essays, obviously, but I think it's just good to reinforce things, okay? It helps me remember better because not everybody has great memory. I have really, really bad short-term memory, like really bad. So it's nice to have some repetition, okay? It's nice to come full circle on some stuff. It's just nice to organize things, okay? For people like me, it's easier. If I choose to pick up your essay, for whatever reason, I'd like that. I like a conclusion. How does one become good at chess? You don't. The ability to play chess is the sign of a gentleman. The ability to play chess well is the sign of a wasted life. I feel like you could say that about a lot of stuff, though. Not just chess. Like any video game. I'm kidding. There is no such thing as a wasted life. If you can say at any point that you have a bunch of happy memories that you get to look back on, you didn't waste anything, by the way. And does that not make time more interesting? It's something so precious and limited. It's something we have the least of, and yet we get to quote unquote waste it. It's just, there's something poetic and amazing about that ability. Even though I don't believe we're really ever really wasting any time, it's just kind of cool. You know what I mean? So, while being naked from the waist down, I made eye contact with my boyfriend and lifted my leg to fart. Instead, I pushed a little too hard and just pissed on the floor like a dog while making eye contact with this poor man. I remember this. I need to know what the aftermath was. Does he tell this story to people? Do you tell this story to people? Are you still dating? Did he marry you like immediately afterward? What happened? We gotta know. I just really wish we had a follow-up for this insane scenario. I feel so bad for you, but at the same time, it is one of the funniest things I have ever read on the internet. It's fantastic, real or not, it's beautiful, you know? It just sucks that we have to be left in such suspense, but I'll allow it. Me losing all my humor and social skills the minute someone I don't know joins the conversation. Well, it's because you don't know. You don't know how to vibe. You don't get what their vibe is. You don't know. If you're with your friend group that you've built all this rapport with over the years, of course, you're going to be totally normal. But if someone you have not vibed with yet and only just now are meeting joins, you're going to have to pump the brakes a little bit. You don't know what is okay or what they're going to appreciate, right? So you gotta hold back for a little bit and learn, observe, watch. I accidentally submitted a paper worth 35% of my grade with this intro because I was tired and forgot to delete. I'm gonna cry. Orwell's 1984. Big Brother is manipulating you. Buckle your seatbelts, motherfucker, because in 8 short pages, I'm gonna teach you something that I only learned 2 hours ago. Sit down, shut up, and enjoy the experience of my 4 a.m. caffeine-induced self-hatred-fueled writing extravaganza. I would really hope that as long as you did well on the rest of this, they wouldn't take that away. I'm so tired of decorum ruining people's everything, you know? Like, I get professionalism. I do. I really do. But god damn it, can we have a little bit of levity in the world? Just a tiny, tiny bit of push and pull, you know? Even though I gotta be honest, don't know how that would have been possible for you to forget to delete that. No idea, but I guess if it was a 4 a.m. induced or caffeine-induced fury that you were going through, maybe I could see. But I just hope you still got a good grade because you did well enough, right? Just, I guess out of that, maybe not the best to admit you did it in 2 hours. Is 30 too late to lock in? Mads Mikkelsen got his first movie role at age 31. I mean, you gotta remember though, it was something he was always working towards. He was bald? Anyway, sorry, I was a little distracted by that. I do appreciate all the sentiment of there is still time. You never know. I mean, Alan Rickman didn't start booking giant movies until he was in his 40s, right? Wasn't he 42 or 43 when he got Die Hard and whatnot? So the thing is that I think a lot of people might maybe forget is that these guys are 80 to 100 hours a week looking for that work, bettering every aspect of themselves. And nothing's gonna magically happen for you. Even if you're a Nepo baby, you still gotta do some goddamn work. You still, a lot. So I feel like he put in 20,000 hours or something insane long before getting any role, let alone his first movie role, you know? That is so not him. What the hell though, right? What the hell? Anyway, sorry. I'm gonna get back to not auditioning for anything. Why is the save mark in Excel a vending machine? A vending machine. Japan or not, what vending machine looks, wait, hold on, I want to take a look. You just look up Japanese vending machine, I could see some similarities. Oh, well, maybe. Sorry, I saw a picture of a couple others that look slightly more like it. Obviously, we know what it is. We know it's a floppy disk. You and I know because we're old, right? We know what a floppy disk is. And if we're not old, we were poor, because that's usually how it works. If you're younger and you know what a floppy disk is, you might either have been interested in old technology or just grew up a little bit more poor, so you got to experience some of that older shit because it was a necessity, like me. Hell, I used to have a small collection of America Online floppy disks with 1,000 free hours of connectivity. If I'm ever murdered or kidnapped, please don't make up lies about me. I do not light up a room. Everyone doesn't want to be my friend. People don't automatically take notice of me. I have a smart mouth and 2 friends. Tell 2020 that. Tell 2020 that. I mean, I know what you're getting at. Same. I've got 8 friends in total. Okay, maybe a little bit more. Some are closer than others, for sure. But close family friends, fewer than 10. But I feel like that's pretty normal at any age. If we're talking 4 life friends that you're interacting with on a near daily basis, Silk Song is harder. The night was tough as hell. Siblings after going through run back hell. Man, I wish I was good at video games. Genuinely wish I was good enough to play some of these. I know what you're thinking. No, I'm not. I'm never gonna try any of these crazy games. I'm never gonna try Silk Song, Hollow Knight, any Dark Souls game. Nothing. I can't do it. Despite how much I would love to experience what's going on narratively in these games, I just don't have it in me. And I know, coming from a guy that loves survival horror games and has beaten all the Resident Evil, Silent Hills, blah, blah, blahs, those aren't particularly hard. They're just scary. Some of them are scary. That's why I'm scared to play Silent Hill F, because I hear it's really freaking hard, even if you play it on story difficulty, man. Protect your peace. Play the game the way you wanna. Spits mouthful of blood onto the floor. You become far more powerful since we last crossed paths. Dentist, please stop. There's literally a sink right next to you. Guess what's coming? Weird flex from an aquarium. They don't ID me at the liquor store anymore because they see the light has left my eyes. You might need to cut back a little bit then, my friend. If you're becoming a regular at the liquor store, just stop. Just chill. Just don't anymore, okay? Just finished putting together a bookshelf and I only had 10 screws left over. Y'all would never believe what happened. God damn. Look, depending on where you bought it from, I won't even blame it on you. You know, if you got it from IKEA during the pandemic, I'm not blaming it on you. Shit was exploding. They could not make anything to save their lives coming from IKEA during the pandemic, dude. I mean, you didn't get it during the pandemic. I see the date, but anyway. Tell me what you smiling about today. My girl cheated on me with a married man and the wife beat her up. Boom! There you go. I mean, I guess if there's going to be a silver lining, that's one. That is, sure. There you go. You get a little bit of something out of it, I suppose. Still not going to change anything. You still need to end that relationship for the rest of your life. You can only eat food from one of these regions. Which do you choose? If you don't pick D, I fundamentally don't trust you. So I wouldn't pick D. I saw this tweet. I already came up with it, what I would pick. I'm going with G. And the reason I'm going with G is because that's where New Orleans is. That's where Louisiana is. That's where I'm going to get my gumbo. It's where I'm going to get my jambalaya, my proper food. Okay? And look, Disneyland is still there. Cool. I can go and get Disneyland's fake version of all those things whenever I visit. But no, I'm sticking with G because I want my Cajun. I want my Creole. I want that. The rest of it, I'm okay with not having anymore. You know, I got to be honest with you. I could eat gumbo till I'm dead. Chat GPT. Wikipedia is my ride or die. If I'm going to be misinformed, I want to be misinformed by the people. Wikipedia is actually more reliable than most textbooks thanks to the unparalleled might of global-scale, fully weaponized autistic pedantry. Dude, the people that keep Wikipedia up to date are better than all of us. I'm sorry. They get to be better than all of us. There is no privilege like British accent privilege. Americans will grant you 20 IQ points for nothing. It depends on the British accent. It really does, okay? Because there are some where we'll treat it like a deep South accent here. We'll be like, you're dumb, brother. Right. Yeah? Like, I'm sorry. Some of them are not getting that privilege. You need to be from like Cambridge or something like that in order to get it. It's very specific British accents, okay? And Australian accents, you get the hot factor, I think, for a lot of people, but they don't get IQ point privilege, that's for sure. The funny thing about ads is that they're supposed to entice you to purchase their products, but it actually just makes me want to not buy it because seeing the ad when I just wanted to watch YouTube pissed me off, and now I have resentment against the company the ad came from. And no effort is put into ads anymore. If humans colonize another planet, what should be the very first rule we all agree to uphold? Don't pick up the phone. You know he's only calling because he's drunk and alone. A meeting of minds. Evil wizard.
Who is this undead army at my command? There is no one who could possibly hope to stop me and my plans to bring the kingdom to ruin.
The humble D&D adventuring party. You cannot eat money or love. Skill issue, dude. People still don't know this? That 4chan has been the prime supplier for memes for like the last decade or more? It's always been that way. 4chan to Reddit to Tumblr and YouTube to Twitter and finally your mom's Facebook feed. Gene Park, you are a legend. You rule. Seriously, if you like video games, you should be following Gene Park for sure. He is the man when it comes to that stuff. But he's right. Unfortunately, 4chan is where so much of what you know and like about internet culture has, not all of it, but a decent chunk of it has come from there, okay? Having adult money means you can buy your favorite candy in bulk. I have a tummy ache. First look at Absolute Joker in the Absolute Batman comic series. What kind of joke is this motherfucker gonna tell? Teenager marries dead boyfriend in coffin. You can tell my guy in blue came just so he could see this shit for himself and still couldn't believe his eyes. Human, we have a color named after you. Salmon. Really? Is it silvery blue like my outsides? No, wait, why is it pink? Why is it pink? The world's oldest baby has been born from an embryo frozen in 1994. Thaddeus Daniel Pierce is over 30 years old despite being born July 26, 2025. Look at him, comfortably sucking on that pacifier and taking nappy time. Grown-ass man, 30 years old, get a job. Why do people slap the remote when it's not working? Why does it work after you slap it though? Remember, if your flight gets canceled, most airports have a secret fleet of backup planes with lots of seats, but they're only available if you're mean enough to low-level employees. It's true. I was mean enough once. It works.